I was in third grade, and I remember this was when I was playing for the Briggs Cheney White Oak Warriors. This was my heartbreak. Coach Art, Coach Art, who had passed away that year. It was the regular season game when we were playing against Montgomery Village, and all the games, from 75 pounds to 85 pounds to 95 to 110, all the games between us and Montgomery Village was a very tight battle because it was a huge rivalry. We were the White Oak Warriors, they were the Montgomery Village Chiefs. There was a lot of the coaches from MV came over to us and all that kind of stuff. So it was a huge rivalry, right? So the end of the game, the 110 game happened, and we won like literally on the last play. And the coaches just started going at each other. I mean, just brawling. The whole field just lit up with coaches. You had moms pushing us to the side, making sure, because you can't be too safe. You never know if anybody got any weapons, anybody gonna fire off or anything like that. So eventually the fight died down, and Coach Bobby, who dropped us home, it was myself and a guy named Mark Dawes. Shout out to Mark Dawes if you listen. I don't know what you're up to these days, but hopefully all is well with you, bro. So it was Mark Dawes and me, or Mark Dawes and I. Coach Bobby dropped us home that day, and he was talking about the fight, and he was talking about how he was out there throwing for you guys. It was actually his first year with the organization, right? So by the end of the ride home, Coach Bobby looks at us all. He goes, look, I don't want y'all to think what I did was right. It was just us three there. And, again, Coach Bobby, little 4'3" guy, and, he's black coach, all that kind of stuff. He looks at us, he goes, look, I don't want y'all to think what I did was right. It wasn't right that we, as grown adults, to be fighting in the game and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I want Cam Newton to come out and say. I want Cam Newton to come out. I get that the other coach did it, but I want someone like the Cam Newtons of the world, who has the platform, who is famous, to come out and say, hey, it was not right for us to get to blows and all that kind of stuff. That's what needs to happen. That's how you make things right, not by just sitting back in your mansion or wherever you are and just chilling. You know what I'm saying? And having the other person who did get into the scuffle come out and say he was wrong. That's what needs to happen, all right? I have a whole lot more. In fact, I do a whole ton of. I have a whole podcast episode on this very topic. I believe it's called Youth Football Fights, where I break down the type of fighting where it's you got to have fight in you, you got to be willing to fight, or you got to have some ability to stick up for certain people and have some backbone and all that. So just check that out.